Hello, my name is Dr. Matthew Robinson. I'll be speaking today about your professional image, a key to leadership success. When we talk about a professional image, we're talking about the set of qualities or characteristics that represent perceptions of who you are, your competence, your character, and it's how you're judged by your key constituents. We have our desired professional image, that being what we like to think people think of us, but also there's a perceived professional image. That's what others think of us. And lastly, this is all tied together that we can talk about what's known as your brand, something that we'll be talking about a little bit later in the presentation. So when we talk about a professional image, why is it important? Well, first of all, in your current position, is it going to enable you to be successful? Is it going to be able to you to accomplish the responsibilities associated with your position? As far as future positions are concerned, it's often the case that your career growth is tied to what people think of you and the image that you've portrayed for yourself in creating it. There's an old saying is that you dress for the job that you hope to have. So again, your image is tied to what you're hoping to accomplish over the course of your career. Now within that, you have your own personal goals, whether it be in your current position or your future aspirations of those things that you want to do. But also, it's going to be important in helping you achieve the organizational goals that you are often placed in a situation you're the leader of an organization, and how you're perceived is going to impact on whether or not your organization is going to be successful, because also that perception of you is tied to that organization. So what can we do? First of all, you have to identify your image. What are those, and write this down if you'd like, what are your core competencies and character traits? Are those things that you want people to associate with you? Really, what are those things you perceive to be your strengths and those things that stand out and make you unique? Also, which of the social identities do you want to emphasize in your professional interactions, and those that you don't want to interact or put out there on display? Some core competencies, what are some of your technical skills that you may have? As far as if you're coaching, if you have coaching, what aspect of coaching you're good? Also, you talk about, are you a person that is a doer of things, that you're given a task, go get it done? Are you more of an introvert and more of a thinker and are coming up with new ideas and creative ideas and being somewhat of a visionator? Are you a relator? Are you that person that walks in, takes over the room, or able to connect with people, able to empathize with people? Okay, all these things, when you think about it, when people talk about you, they'll be often saying, hey, he's very analytical. Oh, he gets the job done. Hey, I tell you what, he comes up with original ideas and figures out ways of doing things. He's excellent at running a training session. What they're talking about are your core competencies. So what are the core competencies? Because again, you want to highlight those and emphasize those and put yourselves in situations that you can demonstrate that you have that competency. The next one is your social identities. How many of these, now I look at these are the list of things that I could say that I have as my social identities outside of my work. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a friend, I'm a son, I'm a volunteer, I'm a member of a church, I'm known as a runner, and I'm also an avid reader. What aspects of this do I want to bring out? Do you want to communicate that you're a family person? Do you have pictures of your family in your office? Do you bring your wife and children maybe to some professional/personal events? Do you communicate? Are you involved with your parents? Do you let it be known that you have a close relationship with your parents? Okay? All of these different things, you make a determination. Some people like to set up a silo that they have their work self, they have their home self, they have their social life, and they don't interact. That's up to you to determine on how you want it to be viewed. And like I said before, going back to your core competencies, he's a real thinker that also is a strong family man. This is becoming a part of what your professional image is. Assess your current image. What are the current expectations as far as your profession is concerned? How are you perceived by others? Like going back to that first point, what are the expectations? What's the dress? What's the appearance? Is it supposed to be somebody that's charismatic and vivacious? Is it somebody that's supposed to be quiet and stern? Again, what are your traits that come naturally to you? How are you perceived by others? A simple question to ask somebody. What do people think of me? What do people associate with me? Now, we often say, should you care about other people's their perceptions of you? Well, if you're interested in moving forward in your career, it should matter, especially with stakeholders or individuals that can be making decisions on whether or not you'll be able to advance in your career or be able to do your job better in your current situation. And the last question becomes, are you willing or capable of changing? The old saying is, can a leopard change their spots? Is it the case that you can recognize the fact that there's some aspects of who you are you may have to change in order for you to achieve what you want to do with your career or in your current position? Is it a case that you're going to have to become more serious? Is it a case that you've been a casual dresser and now your profession calls for you to be more formal dresser? Are you willing to make that change? So again, some things are going to come easily for you. Others, you may be able to say, I'm not going to be able to change it, or I'm not willing to change that aspect of who I am. And then at a certain point, you get into the conversation about authenticity versus someone who's a fake. That's up to you to determine. In managing your image, you want to monitor the other perceptions of you. Who are the others? Who are those people? I often like to talk about the ideas. Who's the one person that could possibly create the career opportunity for you or create the opportunity for your current situation to be more successful? What's your relationship with them? What did they think of you? That's important. Monitoring your own behavior, as I mentioned before, about this idea of knowing who you are, staying true to yourself, and portraying who you truly are versus somebody who becomes non-authentic. Yes, there's often aspects of a position that we have, or there may be some things we would have to do if we're interested in moving farther in our career. But at what point do you begin to lose who you truly are as a self? And again, that's something that you need to determine, and monitoring your own behavior. And finally, proving your worth and legitimacy. Is who you are of value to those that matter? Do people recognize the fact that you are a doer, a go-getter, a creator, a relator, whatever it may be? And do they see the value on that? And are they willing to keep track of you and eventually promote you to put you in better opportunities or enable you to be more successful in your current situation? Earlier, I talked about this concept of a brand. And here we call it a conceptual framework for your professional image. Now, I'm talking here specifically within soccer, but I think it could be related to across a number of different industries. When we talk about the brand equity, it's this concept that are associated with who you are. The brand awareness is how well do people know you? The brand associations are what do people associate with you? Often it's simple questions. What 5 words come to your mind when you think of that particular person? And the third one is your perceived quality, the degree that you are good or not so good in a particular aspect or a particular career. Now we want to take a look at the antecedent variables that lead into it. We talk about your past successes and accomplishments. They're tied both into your awareness, associations, and quality. We talk about who you're working for. Is it a credible organization? Is it someone that is an organization that by being associated with them, that is reflected onto you as far as some level of success, whether it be a prominent university or very successful corporation? And then the last one is market related. Do you gain exposure? Are you publicly known? Are you in the media? Are you using social media? Do people know you within the community? All of them things tie back into your brand equity. Now, on the other side of it, when we talk about the consequences, we begin to talk about your visibility, loyalty people have to you, your career advancement, the potential support and external support you'll receive, and the potential for opportunities that are going to be created for you because people know who you are, they think highly of you, and they see you of quality. That ultimately is your professional image and or your brand. Now, the marketing of you goes back to your image. First of all is your product, who you are. The second is, what are you worth? How much should you be paid? The third part of the marketing of you is place. Where do you want to work? What environment? Is it professional sport, college athletics, major club, multi-sport club? Also in place, do I want to be based on the West Coast? Do I want to be based on the East Coast? Am I a Midwestern person? I want to stay there. What are you willing to do to promote yourself as far as putting yourself out there? Again, are you on social media? Are you attending certain situations to be seen? Are you setting yourself up for speaking engagements? Are you willing to put information out on yourself as far as your website is concerned to promote who you are? Mark Twain had a great saying that it ain't bragging if you did it. And in the case of promotion, and then also public relations, very much tied together, it is the idea that you are your biggest advocate. Don't expect anyone else to talk about you. You need to do it for yourself. And then, like you said, these product variables, your competencies, your skills, your appearance, your traits and habits, your ethics and your values, all of those things make up who you are as far as your professional image is concerned.